my fellow Americans. Today I'm here to let you know about a topic that has plagued our nation for too long. It is vile, cruel, and should have never, ever be ignored. It should be combated everywhere. I am here to talk about police brutality. The recent events over the past few weeks were tragic and horrific. A mother of two was shot in her home on July 6, 2024. I'll say this again. An Illinois mother of two was shot to death by police officers. The sheriff has stated that the deputy, Sean Grayson, the murderer, hadn't been properly trained and that he wasn't ever trained, which was a horrible excuse. And let me tell you something about that murderer. He had on record 2 DUIs, a dishonorable discharge from the military for horrific misconduct, and of course, had been relocated between 5 different departments across Illinois. And let me say something. He should have never been in the police force. He should have never, ever been in any department. The sheriff and the chief of police need to face punishment for what they've allowed. An innocent woman lost her life in a very horrific way. She was shot 3 times in the head by Deputy Sean Grayson. Police brutality has plagued our nation for so many years, since the beginning. But the most prevalent of it was throughout the civil rights period and the 21st century. Half of all staff in police departments in the South had Klan membership throughout the civil rights period and even before. I'll say this again. Half of all policemen in the South were Klansmen. They had ties to that white supremacist terrorist organization that had terrorized innocent communities for too long. Some, if not most, partook in the many attacks on African American communities throughout that period. And let me tell you something. We need to fight this injustice. The way we can do this is if we never give up in our quest for change. Here's a list of demands that I will read out to you. The abolition of qualified immunity, demilitarization of the police, and abolish unwanted searches and no-knock warrants. The release and pardoning of any and all political prisoners who had fought against injustice of people of color. Reallocate $90 billion from police departments towards housing, black-owned businesses, healthcare, infrastructure for housing, drug rehab facilities, proper education, mental health centers, and invest in communities. 4. Establish an emergency call for mental health and individuals struggling with mental illness. 5. End historical revisionism in U.S. classrooms and talk about Black American, Latino American, Asian American, and Pacific Islander and Indigenous history in classes. To join police departments, this is the 6th demand. Anyone who wants to be an officer must have a degree in criminal law and must study the Constitution and the Bill of Rights for that purpose. To be a part of the police departments across the country, this should be a requirement. You need to have a degree in criminal law and you have to study the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. 7. Criminalize the usage of the thin blue line flag as an allocation with murder and white supremacy. I know. 8. Criminalize the promotion of white supremacy and far-right beliefs to combat said ideology and to combat the systemic issues that infest police departments. Number 9. Spread awareness of white supremacy in law enforcement. That means every police department must have to spread the awareness of that disease. 10. End police-based violence on protesters, people of color, to end racial profiling, and end union busting. Number 11. End the blockade on Cuba and normalize relations with Cuba. This is also towards the U.S. government. And 12. Reparations to the descendants of enslaved Americans, African Americans. And that doesn't mean all of us. To those who have owned a lot more than you can ever possibly imagine. I'm not talking about the average citizen. I am talking about the upper elites that should pay reparations, for they are the ones responsible for this injustice. These 12 demands I am calling to end this systemic cycle of violence, racism, and injustice. We will not be silent. We will not go down that easily. I'm willing to fight for my brothers and sisters across this country. I'm willing to fight for my black brothers and black sisters, my Asian brothers and Asian sisters, my Arab brothers and Arab sisters, my Native brothers and Native sisters. I'm willing to fight for all of you. I am willing to help you and fight alongside you to end this oppression. No longer will the chains that bind us restrain us. If we work together, we will all be free. Go out there, protest, and be angry. Because we have a right to be angry. We have a goddamn right to free assembly and to express our anger. We will not go down that easily. And to those politicians that try to keep us down, try me. It is us against corruption. Justice will be served. No trust, no fear. Corruption must disappear. No trust, no fear. White supremacy disappear. Black Lives Matter. And may God be with you.